避免辛苦收成的这个轻松一下。
Shu-ling may have elevated status amongst Aboriginal tribes, but millet is used in a far more common Han Chinese confection called mochi. Made from either millet or glutinous rice, this popular snack is available in stores across the island. But it isn't just millet that's made it to mainstream Taiwanese cuisine. There's been, over the centuries, an exchange of culinary ideas.
原住民对台湾饮食影响的最大块，我认为是对于野菜的部分，还有包括吃番薯、吃芋头。台湾人吃稀饭会吃番薯稀饭，因为番薯是原住民的主食。那稻子是汉人的主食，把原住民的主食跟汉人的主食加在一起，就会变成番薯稀饭。
The traditional staple of millet may have been replaced with rice, but many Aboriginals still cling on to centuries-old rituals and beliefs.
槟榔对我们这个阿美族部落啊，尤其是阿美族部落，它是非常神圣的。所以我们一家子大概只种几颗槟榔，就在家附近，从来没有像现在满山遍野都是槟榔。
Once part of a sacred ritual, the betel nut today is cultivated on a large scale, on an estimated 50,000 hectares across the island. That's nearly 70,000 soccer fields. The betel nut palm is native to Taiwan and is relatively inexpensive to cultivate. Each tree has a yield of between 100 and 600 nuts and is harvested twice a year. The consumption of betel nuts in Taiwan rose dramatically between the 70s and 90s. It is a lucrative multi-million-dollar business. Little wonder the betel nut came to be called green gold. But then, not all that glistens is gold. The betel nut tree has shallow roots. When planted on hillsides, it makes soil erosion and landslides a very real threat. But it isn't just the environmental hazards that has Taiwanese authorities concerned.
槟榔对环境带来的伤害是比对不输对人带来的伤害。
For consumption, the betel nut is slit open, and a calcium hydroxide paste is added. This acts as a catalyst, releasing intoxicating stimulants into the body when chewed. Betel nut chewing in Taiwan accounts for most of the nearly 2,500 deaths from oral cancer each year.
所以基本上，我觉得整个这个背后都还是跟放纵，比如说吃太多槟榔的放纵，还有把槟榔种在山坡地上面，也是一种贪婪。这个放纵贪婪造成了槟榔这个本来是仪式性的食物，本身并不完全代表邪恶的东西，而如今变成对人变成一种非常负面的一个食物。
In the hills of Hualien County, the Army Harvest Festival reaches its peak, a celebration of their spiritual bond with the land, a thanksgiving for the treasures nature has blessed them with for centuries. This is Taiwan's iconic Taipei 101. On the 85th floor, amidst lush decor, patrons dine on an unlikely cuisine. Upmarket versions of the island's famous street food. Elegantly and aesthetically presented, it's window dressing for a culinary experience that is far more down to earth. In streets all across the island, crowds jostle for their favorite treats. When it comes to Taiwan's street food, variety is the order of the day, an a la carte frenzy. There's Taiwanese sausages, the famous oyster omelette with secret sauce, local corn on the cob, steamed pork buns, salted deep-fried chicken, and the self-incriminating stinky tofu. It's a mouth-watering spread.
You can find good food anytime during the day and night in Taiwan. I think it says something about Taiwanese people's attitude toward food. They want to have good food and they want to have it all the time.
Of Taiwan's many street food havens, one is worthy of special attention, the port city of Tainan. Tainan is Taiwan's oldest city. Its streets are rich with history. In imperial times, this was the island's capital. The city has less prominence in modern Taiwan, resulting in a slower pace of life. But this has also helped preserve some of its centuries-old culinary culture, especially the snacks or xiaochu that's found on its streets.
Tainan is actually one of the earliest settlements of immigrants coming from mainland China. So when we go visit Tainan, we can find some very refined xiaochu, which is unique to this area, and you could not find it elsewhere in Taiwan.
These days, walking food tours of Tainan are popular amongst Taiwanese. Renowned gourmet and food writer Ye Yilan enjoys leading them.
你要是看在台南啊，如果有哪一个区有很多的小吃的话，你就会知道说，哎，这附近一定有一间庙。原因是因为台南的那个小吃很多是围绕着庙的周围，因为从古早以前就很多人要来参拜，参拜就要吃东西，所以说它就有很多其实台南很多很传统古老的小吃都是这样子起来的。神明有保佑，东西就好吃。
Tainan boasts hundreds of Buddhist and Taoist temples. In the city's early days, this is where people congregated, creating the ideal conditions for street food to flourish.
中文常讲说我们要祭五丈庙嘛，那刚好庙口也是祭神又祭五丈庙的地方。
This was the food for the everyman, from farmers, fishermen and laborers, to those higher up the social ladder.
那个是什么？花生粉，花生粉加上糖。
台湾是一个不太有太多阶级的地方，大部分的人其实都是还是在类似同样的一个水平上面在生活，所以很自然的就是我们的饮食它就变成不是往很高的一个精致度发展，而是往一个横向它往它的多元化去发展。
Much of the street food found across Taiwan today has its origins in Tainan. There are now regional variations of these dishes, but in Tainan, the original recipes are still used.
围绕着这个区有很多的小吃，都非常的有名。
Arguably, one of the most iconic of Tainan's dishes is milk fish porridge, a hearty, nutritious breakfast favorite.
那在台南的话，因为我们就是近海养殖大量的那个食物，所以说我们其实早上就是把它捞捕起来之后，很多就是把它煮来做成粥或者做成汤，然后每一个部分都可以吃，鱼皮、鱼肚、鱼肠。
Milk fish porridge is made with a fish called chanos or sumoyi. Garlic slices, oysters, half-cooked rice, fish bones, and rice wine are also added.
看到这个，那个是虱目鱼汤，你说这个最好吃的地方在里面哦。你看很多的那个胶质，还有的那个肉是最软。
虱目鱼 or milkfish is something that people would identify with Tainan. That's actually where the dish was originated. And of course, later on, it became very popular all over Taiwan.
These days, many Taiwanese are beginning to discover and embrace their own culinary identity.
移民为主的一个国家的一个重点就是在于说心胸非常开放，然后而且就是思考非常的灵活，我们很宽广的去 去包容，而且去接受其他不同地方的饮食文化，不断的在加入我们自己的饮食里面来，然后使得它的多样性跟丰富度越来越大。
From its earliest Aboriginal settlers to the contributions of migrants from mainland China, to the influence of the Japanese who once ruled it. Each has added its unique flavor to the island's cuisine. But the story of culinary Taiwan is still being written.
In Taiwanese cuisine nowadays, you can see a mirror of Taiwanese history. It actually shows you how Taiwan has evolved as a society.